town. Come to save the princess Zelda. Got it broken away. Now the children don't play, but they will when Link saves the day. Hallelujah! Now Link, fill up your hearts so you can shoot your sword with power. And when you're feeling all down, the battle will come around. So you be brave and not this is a coward. Now Link has saved the day, but got it in his grave. So now a Zelda is free, and now a hero shall be. Link, I think your name shall go down into history.
Hi YouTube. So as you can see, Link is no longer with us. He lived a very, very long, happy life. 14 years and 10 months. I had him since he was a little baby, and he was like barely 10 weeks, 8 weeks old. I was 15 years old on my birthday, and he was just a newborn. I'm almost 30 now, so I've had him exactly half my life. In December of last year, 2015, Link was diagnosed with heart failure, and I was so devastated in December because I thought I was going to lose him because he was starting to have like really bad seizures. And he only had him when he would like run excessively a lot. So I couldn't let him run so much anymore in December. And we gave him some medications. There was either to, you know, give up or give him medications. And I'm like, I'm going to at least try. Give him some meds. And he got better. He actually did get way better, like a lot. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll keep doing this. And I didn't really want to just keep drugging him and just depend on medication because, you know, medicines can do so much. So what I did is some research. There possibly was, you know, anti-aging dog, prevention and treating cancer in dogs. He didn't have cancer, but this was still a good book to read. Prevention and reversing heart failure. This is for humans, though. Right now, there isn't really a cure for dogs and heart failure, but there was, you know, it doesn't hurt to at least look, nutritional book. I even started cooking for him, too. Like, all organic, natural food. Like, just, I researched like crazy. I knew this was eventually going to take his life, but I wanted to at least make it comfortable as possible. I made his day happy. Every single day was his day. Sometimes there was times I would not even eat a first meal until like noon or 1 p.m. because I wanted to make sure he got his walks, he had his meals, he had his medicine. I'd take him out for car rides at Petco, take him to the indoor dog park so he could meet other dogs and still socialize. When days he really couldn't like go on as much, like he was okay, but he was just kind of like, you know, slowing down, tired. I actually got him a doggy cart and pushed him around the whole neighborhood. People stared at me, but I didn't care. Me and Link's bond was so strong that near the end, I can actually predict exactly when his blood pressure was going either too high or too low, and he was about to get a seizure. He was my son. And there was times when I would even like fight off coyotes just so they can get the fuck out of here. You know, the one time there was like a big ass coyote in front of our house. This coyote's in our territory. My baby dog lives here, and that fucker is gonna come near me. I want to make sure he never comes back. So I chased him all the way down the street. This April 2016, that's when things started going downhill pretty bad. I noticed it just was not the same. He started getting slower, just starting to reject this food. And then near the end, like the thing about these medications is that they help his heart, but in the long run, especially when you're an older dog, they fuck up your kidneys. So then near the end, he was also with heart failure and kidney failure. And the kidney failure was actually slightly getting a little bit percentage better because I found this medication that helps his kidneys. But it's like another drug you gotta take, you know. I'm like, I don't want to keep drugging my dog. And near the end, he had like 5 medications, you know, 4 for his heart and 1 for his kidneys. And at night, sometimes he couldn't sleep. He would be panting throughout the whole night, like he's like really warm. And the heater wasn't even on. The windows were open. There was wind blowing. He had fans everywhere. It was like, I was cold in that room. I was like wearing blankets and sweaters. But as long as he was comfortable, that's what mattered. And he was panting, like throughout the whole night, walking around, pacing the whole entire house. I'm like, what's the matter, baby? Like 2, 3 in the morning, just uncomfortable, and I would just be there with him until he fell asleep. Like, he was just really antsy. He probably wasn't in pain, but I know he was not comfortable, because we took him to his cardiologist every few months to check his heart, and they said that his heart is getting a little bigger, and it's going to keep getting bigger and overflowing with, you know, fluids more and more. And we increased one of the medicines that helps him flush out the fluid, to hope that helped out. The 2 days before he was gone, he rejected his food, and that made me worry a lot. But I had to go to work that day. I'm like, I have to go in the morning. I can't wait for him forever. And at least Robert is not working that day. He'll be home. I made sure that me and Robert's schedules fit to a point where he was never alone, because I was afraid of that. And when I went to work, Robert had to call my manager to come in early because Link was not doing good. He was vomiting so much. It doesn't look normal. It looks like just fluids in him or something. I don't know. And we thought about doing like a fluid drain, but the cardiologist said that he's at his age and how severe his heart failure was getting. They said that he probably wouldn't even survive it. And then Robert told me that when I was at work, he was starting to like be distant, and he would just stare at the wall like he just wasn't there. And then he would hide in places that were very random. Like, he would never ever ever, of the 14 years I've had him, he'd never go into the bathroom because he knew that was like our territory where we did our business. And he went in there by himself, and he said that he hid behind the toilet, just hiding in the dark behind the toilet and not coming out. I'm like, fuck, means he's finding a spot. They said that with everything that they did and test blood, and they said that it doesn't look too good. He's definitely near the end of the days, and they said that, I told him, give it to me straight. How long do you think he has to live if he was going to go a natural way? He said he most likely has about 2 to 4 months, if that, and if nothing else happens. Let me think this just the weekend. It's Saturday now. Just let me think it over the weekend, please, because I don't know what to do. I told Robert, let's do it the weekend, and the doctor gave us like adjustments with his medication to help him out. And Monday morning, 2 in the morning, Link had a seizure. Pretty bad one. He's had seizures before, but this one was pretty bad. And that's when I knew it was his time. With the last week, because he didn't have any seizures, like, at all. When we started his medication, they were helping his heart. But, you know, after so long, medicine can do so much. The last week Link lived, he had like 3 seizures. And that last one he had Monday morning, I was like, I'm done. Not in like inconvenience. He's not inconvenience. I mean, like, I'm done. Like, I'm done seeing him suffer. That's it. And I know he's too stubborn to say it, but I know this is his time. Like, there is just no way to live like this. Like, he can barely go on walks. He's, every now and then, he's starting to reject his food. He's hiding in places. Like, how many more signs do I need? You know, this was like it. So later that morning, I called our other vet, because years ago I told myself that this was going to happen. When it's Link's time, I don't want him to go die at a vet. I don't want his last moments to be at a vet. I want him to be home with his family and his loved ones, and to know that everything's okay. I want him to be able to go to heaven in my arms. I'd make sure Link had a very, very fun last day, though. We got up. I held him in my arms when I was cuddling him in the middle of the morning. Whatever he wanted, hot dogs and chicken and bacon, whatever he wanted that morning. We went for a nice little walk. I mostly carried him because he was, you know, it was starting to get harder to walk. And then my cousin Nathan came, and we went on a nice, awesome car ride. We went to Petco. We didn't buy anything. We just wanted to, you know, because he loved going to Petco, sniffing the treats and nibbling on the big bones. He took a big piss in the middle of Petco, and I'm like, fuck it, let's not pick it up. We just run outside. Little shenanigans, you know, our last shenanigans we did. And then we went to Dairy Queen. got him a little vanilla ice cream treat, and he ate it. Me and him shared an ice cream cone outside in the grass by our home. Part of me, like, when I made the call later that day, you know, for the veterinarian to come later in the night to do it, part of me kept thinking, like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, you just cancel it, you just call and cancel it, because I have done that call before in December when he got sick. But then I'm like, I kept thinking to myself, you know, all these things I listed down, what he's been going through, it came to a point that, are you making your dog live for them, or are you making them live for you? And that's a question that's very hard to ask yourself. And you always think those what ifs. What if he lived another month? What if he had like a bunch of other good days? We're the only one that can make this choice. But what have you done? You've done everything you can, and eventually, you know, I looked up online just to see how heart failure ends a dog's life, and usually, sometimes they go on their sleep if you're lucky, but from what Link was having, and the seizures and everything, and the discomfort and the panting, there could be a lot of little things that can happen. Like, for instance, the fluids can build up more in his lungs, and he eventually will, like, drown. It's like a drowning effect, and that's, like, the worst way to die, I think. He can have a seizure that was so bad that he would never come out of it. Because I noticed, I forgot to mention this, that when he had seizures back in December, it was very rare, he would, like, come out of it. Like, he'd have it for, like, a little bit, and he'd just start walking around eating like nothing ever happened. But near the end, like this month, every time he had them, they were, like, really bad. And it would take him, like, almost nearly half hour just to get up and walk around. Near the end, he had them for, like, very little things. Like, he would be sleeping, and then he'd get up and walk around, and he'd have a seizure. And I'm like, he didn't even get up that. He didn't even walk and run, nothing. He just... And that's when I knew, like, that's just not a life. Everything was fine. Everything was peaceful and fine. Thank God. And he was a very, very, very nice man, too. He gave them... We were giving him chicken, kind of, like, distracting him and playing with him when he had the first shot. And Link was sort of getting tired, a little drowsy here and there. I let him kind of like walk around because I know how he gets. He gets a little nervous when he gets tired like that. And he just like leaned on me as he fell asleep, leaned on my leg. And I just kind of like held him and told him I loved him and everything was gonna be fine. That, you know, just holding him, just being there for him. And we gently put him on this little blanket. His favorite toys were always sock monkeys, and he would always steal them from me because they were mine, but I let him keep them afterwards. So the one that he loved the most, the first one he stole, I let him hold it when he was awake, but you know, he was sleeping. Oh, and then and the man, you know, stepped out of the house to give us space. And it was me and Robert, and Robert's mom were the only ones there. Because they have been through this many times before, and I needed them for support, especially my husband. And we were there for about a good 20-something minutes. I didn't want to be there so long with him because, you know, the longer I drag it, the longer I was like, I don't want to do it anymore, I quit. You know, yeah, I know me. So I just gave myself 20 minutes just holding him, petting him, spending time with him. So I called him up when I said we were ready, and you know, they had the last shot for him, and he was breathing very calmly, like he was so relaxed. And I told the doctor, like, you know what, I mean, it's not just because of drugs and he's drugged up, but I'm like, I've never seen him sleep like this calmly in a long time. Like, around, like, just a month ago was, like, one of the last times I saw him sleep this peacefully, without any panting and walking and, you know, throughout the whole night, and, like, distress. And the doctor's like, that says a lot, you know, and he checked him too before he did anything, and he even felt like the vibrations were like pushing on his lungs with the heart because it was so strong. And I was like, damn, I didn't even know that. And so, you know, he was laying down holding his monkey. I held him. I like laid on him next to him, and I held him. I had my hand on his heart. Robert was facing him and holding his paws. They're doing the shot. And they did the shot. And I heard his little heartbeat slowing down. It's like, I didn't hear anything afterwards. There was no heartbeat. And the doctor came over and heard his heart with his stethoscope. And those words that will always be with me for the rest of my life till I die. That hurt so much. He's gone. I felt like my heart stopped. And I just held him closely and told him, well, this is before he left, but I told him, I will go wherever you go, and I will see you again. I swear it. I will see you again, one way or another. I'm sorry, this video is so damn depressing. I wanted to make it, like, encouraging, but I can't. I really can't. And, you know, the man was very nice. He had, like, an actual bed. Like, he gave us more time with him, and when we were done, he actually had, like, a dog bed with us, and, you know, a little blanket, and we put him in there, and I'm the one that carried his body to the car, and they drove off. The thing that is also written in my will, because people are probably always asking me, what are you going to do with Link? What are you going to do with Link? Are you going to cremate him? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to get him cremated. And the thing is, when I die, I also want to be cremated as well. And in my will, people think, I don't know if I'm nuts or not, but I don't care. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it. I want me and Link's ashes to be together. And I want them to be scattered together. And the location that I chose was in Montana. Huge green field. Most likely Yellowstone National Park. Or just somewhere beautiful. Because I want me and Link, even in the afterlife, to run free together into the green meadows and into the distance for all eternity. That's what I want. And to make you laugh, it was a joke. My friends were like, I don't think you're able to scatter ashes in National Park. I think it's forbidden because it's like a private area resort. I was just like, fuck it. You know, when you do it, what can they do? They can't pick up every little ash and be like, go get it. Don't even ask permission. Just get, how many just Parmesan cheese as an example. Just walk around the park and be like, is this good? Fuck it. Run! Run! What can they do once it's ash scattered, you know? I forgot to also mention that he also had a really, really bad cough. Really bad. Every time he, like, either drank water or just walked around. And that was being discomforting, too. And then there was another pill we could give him for the cough, which I only gave him every now and then because it caused constipation. So I had to give him some pumpkin so he could take some shits, too. Sorry. It's just... I'm trying to make you guys laugh. It's just... I don't think it's worth a life if you gotta keep taking so many pills. Like, if it's like, for example, my grandmother is diabetic with high blood pressure, and she takes medication to maintain that in a good level. It's okay if you need medication, like the same thing with dogs. If they need medication, it's fine. But when it's like so much medication, and you gotta keep increasing, you know, the doses, and you keep adding more different meds, that's when it's like, okay, it's a limit there. That's different. That's what I meant. Like, I don't want him to just... And then there was like another pill they said they can try, and I'm like, I really don't. They said they can give him Viagra to help him for his blood flow in his heart, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to give him that. I'd probably to give him a heart attack. I said there's side effects with that too. Well, I'd probably be humping the crap out of everything too. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna give you guys some advice about if you're going through this or have gone through this or mourning through grief. For the love of God, do not reject yourself from your family and friends and other loved ones. Don't. Immediately, like, grabbed everything that reminded me of Link, all his belongings, and I put it in a tote. I didn't throw anything away. Everything that belonged to him, I put in a tote because I want to keep it as, like, memories, but I just didn't want to look at it right now. His bed, his stairs, his stroller, I kept that in the locker. And anything that was going to go expired eventually, like his food and treats, I just gave to other little dogs that I know, like friends and family's dogs, because I might as well give it to somebody that, you know, could eat it. And that night, I did not sleep in my home. I told Robert, can we please just go to one of your family members' homes and just stay there for the night? And we stayed at his grandma's because she had a spare bed. That helped a lot because I didn't want to wake up and then he's not there, you know. It was a routine that I was so used to for 15 years. But man, I couldn't sleep that night. At the moment now, I take anxiety medication because I don't care if anyone thinks I'm overdramatic about this, because this was my baby. This was my damn son I lost. The first morning when I woke up without him there, I wanted to just die. I really felt nothing was worth it at that moment. Like, my whole chest just hurt so hard. And it was hard to eat. I couldn't eat. I didn't want to. But I did drink a lot of smoothies and a lot of shakes. That's another thing. When you're really, really depressed about something, it's really hard to eat food because it upsets your stomach sometimes, especially me. So what you can do is blend your food. Like, drink smoothies. Put a bunch of fruit, you know, put a bunch of veggies in one of them and just drink them for now, because at least, or even Ensures. Ensures are really good. At least you're getting, like, the nutrition in your body. I shouldn't feel this way, but I feel regret. Like, deep down inside my heart and soul, I know it was the right thing to do, but I just can't help but feel regret. Like, I feel like I killed him, or you know what I mean? I hate that I feel like that. I have those, like, what ifs he this, what if that, what if he was better, and you know, he did get better. Because near the end, like, even though he was having all these issues, he was still, like, happy to see me and happy I was there and holding him. But Robert, you know, also said, because he's been through this with, like, at least 5 dogs, he's like, no matter what, dogs are always going to be happy. You know, they're always going to be happy to see you. Sometimes in some ways, they're very stubborn. Link was always a very stubborn dog. And I think he was just too stubborn to go. And I had him for, like, since 8th grade. He's been in my 8th grade graduation, high school graduation, college graduation, my marriage. He even got to go to my marriage, my wedding. And I've had him since my very first relationship, too. All the way till the end. And maybe he was just waiting until I found the right one to take care of me. I know I'll be okay, but just part of me feels like I don't know how I'm gonna live without him, kind of feeling, you know. I've been reading more books about dog loss and healing processes stuff. This is also an opportunity I've been taking to get closer to God as well, because I don't blame him for anything. I don't blame him for anything. I believe that he uses situations like this to gain us and make us stronger, and to sort of test our faith in some way. At least that's what I personally believe. And one thing that I also say to people about dogs, the reason why they live so short, a short lifespan, is because they're such pure souls. I feel like, in a way, that they're here on this earth to teach us life lessons. And they're sort of like little angels in disguise. Cats too, I mean, you know, like, the same as I meant. They're only here for a short time in our lives to teach us about life. And then when they're ready, they go. And even in death, Link still teaches me so much more. I still feel like he's here. Some advice I also give you guys would be to seek counseling for, or group counseling for, people that have pet lost. Everything that I said, I'm going to leave some resources for all of you. There's also pet loss hotlines to call people you can personally talk to one-on-one in your time. Everything I'm going to say is going to be in the description below this video. So if you are going through this, don't be afraid to check it out. And I didn't want to make this video, even though it was really sad and all, but I felt like you had the right to know about Link's life and what was going on, because he was your dog too. That's how I see it. don't be afraid if you lost a pet to get another pet. Because if you truly are an animal lover, animal lovers will always have animals in their heart. And I do want to ask one favor. It's a small favor, but I have a P.O. Box address that I'm also going to leave in the description below. If you want to write to me and tell me your story about your pet and how you lost them, or if you've gone through this already or recently, and tell me your story and how you felt, it would mean a lot. I am so grateful that I have my husband Robert with me. I don't even know what I'd do if I wasn't by my side. And I do want to say that thank you all so very much for giving me the blessing of having to share a link with you. He's been on my YouTube since the very beginning, back in 2006, and I know all of you remember him from growing up. And I thank you for being there in hard times when me and Link also needed you during some donations that happened for you guys. You guys are amazing. You really are. Thank you all for all your prayers, and I love you all very, very much. And I will come back to YouTube once I get out of my emo stages. So, yeah. Bye-o. And woof, bitches. A couple weeks ago, I got in contact with this company that personally contacted me first. They said that, hey, we like your channel and we like to know if you wanted to you wanted to have like design socks of you, so then you can help, sell them to whoever, and then, it's like a little profit, half and half, 50-50. At first I was like, I don't think I want to do it. It's kind of weird, my face on a sock. Walk on Joey. But then I'm like, hey, maybe it'd be kind of cool if I did little Linky socks, of me and Link on the sock. And I was actually going to use that money that I would make on my half of the portion for his medicine, because his medicine was not cheap. I think I spent at least like $3,000 within a few months. And I'm not regretting it. I do it all over again just to have him those last few months, But I thought, to honor his memory, because I was going to cancel the whole sock thing, but I thought, to honor his memory, I was thinking of still going with the socks, and whatever portion that is mine, I'm just giving it away. I'm giving it away to a dog charity shelter. Every penny. I'm not taking a single dime, because that's Linky's money, and I really want to do something nice for him and just cherish like a little memory of him. So if I can't save my dog because he's already in peace, but if I can use his memory to save other dogs, I think that'd be beautiful. So in the link below, there's also going to be these socks. You're not obligated to, I'm not trying to like sell you them, you don't have to get them. I'm just saying that it'd be nice to, do something like this for Link. One last thing. I'm personally going to buy some myself, so I'm going to be like pinching in too. And I have a funny story about these socks, actually. I told my cousin Nathan about the socks, and I was like, I kind of don't really want to sell these anymore, because people are going to be thinking I'm taking advantage of them, because, my poor doggy just recently passed away. And as a joke, he was like, hey, you should totally take advantage of that. My cousin Nathan's crazy. He's in my videos. You should totally take advantage of that. I'd be like, hey, guys, for every one sock sold, there's one less pill I take. Like, why? I'm like, that's so horrible. I thought you would get a kick out of that.